The Avengers radio series, a cultural phenomenon in South Africa back in the 1970s, South Africa was a country with no national television service. It wasn't until 1976 that the country would get its first taste of television broadcasts. But before that, radio was the primary medium of entertainment and information for the masses. This was the context when The Avengers, a British spy-fi series, made its debut on South African radio and became a cultural phenomenon. The Avengers was a British television series that originally aired from 1961 to 1969. The show revolved around the adventures of John Steed, a suave and sophisticated secret agent, and his various female associates. The series was a unique blend of traditional spy thriller elements with science fiction and fantasy, which set it apart from other shows of its time. While the series was hugely popular in the UK and had also made a significant impact in the American markets, being one of the rare British series given a network transmission slot, it was virtually unknown in South Africa. This was primarily due to the lack of a national television service in the country until 1976. However, as a film series, The Avengers was able to gain some exposure in South Africa through film rentals. But it was the launch of the radio series that truly brought The Avengers to the masses in South Africa. Come and listen at www.myclassicradio.net.
From Hollywood, the George Burns and Gracie Allen Show for Hormel and Spam. George and Gracie. Spam, whoa boy. Spam, what joy. George Burns and Gracie Allen on the show where there's orchestra, the singing glee with a smooth history. Last but not least, with Bud Easton. Well, it's Monday night the 13th. But there's really nothing unlucky about it because Burns and Allen bring you plenty of fun to your house. Say, ladies, if you want to have good luck with tomorrow night's dinner, serve baked Spam. There's a delicious main course, easy to fix. Spam is tender, taste-tempting meat that comes in a can. All you have to do is open the can, take out the Spam, score and stud with cloves, and place in a shallow baking dish. Put it in the oven and baste with a little pineapple juice or a delicious sauce, which is described for you on the Spam can label. In just a few minutes, you'll set before your family a piping hot surprise full of downright goodness and flavor. Extra goodness, ladies, because Spam is a perfect combination of sweet, juicy pork shoulder meat and tender ham. Have a Spam bake tomorrow. Just remember to say to your food dealer, I want Spam. And here they are, like Spam, cold or hot, they hit the spot, George and Gracie.
Thank you. Gracie, say hello.
Oh, hello.
Well, Gracie, if you happen to read my name on the society page one of these days, don't be surprised.
Well, what'd you say, George?
I say, if you happen to read my name on the society page one of these days, don't be surprised.
Oh, no, I won't be. Well, there's no reason why you shouldn't
right
be.
Right there all the time, but
well, I didn't say it, George.
You know, it's very hard to see when you're looking up.
Yeah.
You have to look down.
You know, George, only yesterday I was saying to my sister Bessie, what has Cornelius Vanderbilt got that George hasn't got? He's got position, he's got friends, he's got money, he's got culture.
Me?
No, Cornelius Vanderbilt.
Oh.
But my sister Bessie says I still think he's a lowbrow.
Cornelius Vanderbilt?
No, you.
So your sister Bessie doesn't think I can get into society?
Oh, well, don't worry about it, George. Everybody I told this conversation to said she's crazy.
Your sister Bessie?
No, me.
Well, anyway, Gracie, the reason I said that you would see my name on the society page was because last night I went out
You
with
did. Well, last night I went to the Palladium Ballroom where Artie Shaw is working.
Yes.
And as I came in, the band was playing Jeannie with the light gray hair. So I checked my
Just a
coat.
minute.
And
Jeannie with the light gray hair?
yes, so I checked my coat.
Gracie,
and then when
it's Jeannie with the light brown hair.
yeah, I know, but she turned gray from overwork. So, let's see, where was I?
Maybe from playing around too much.
Yes. Oh, yes. So, I checked my coat, and when I got to the dance floor, the head waiter said, "Follow me, miss," and I did. And he was a beautiful dancer. Anyway, after...
The head waiter?
No, Cornelius Vanderbilt.
Look,
So,
Gracie, I started out to tell you, last night I was with a very famous society girl.
oh, yeah. And is she mad at Artie Shaw?
The society girl?
No, the bubble dancer who works at the Palladium.
There's a bubble dancer at the Palladium?
Yeah, and every time Artie plays her number, he fills his clarinet with buckshot.
With buckshot?
Yeah, and that way he plays fantasy and pops the bubbles at the same time.
Pops the bubbles at the same time?
Yeah.
Boy, oh, boy, I wish I were there last night.
Why, Bud, I'm surprised at you.
I can't help it, George. I'm just crazy about fantasy.
This Bud is really a musical genius.
He is. Say, did you know that Bud plays all the popular songs with one hand?
Well, what does he do with the other hand?
Stops in the nickels.
Anyway, last night I was out with this society girl.
Oh, who cares?
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. And if it happens again, a certain guy is going to get fired. Last night I was out with...
Look, it might interest you to know that there's a certain clarinet player that you can't bully because he doesn't have to take that kind of talk.
Who? You?
No, Benny Goodman.
Very funny, Artie. A big scream.
Artie, that's a fine thing to say to George after the hundreds of nice things he's done for you.
Hundreds of nice things. What's he ever done?
Yeah, George, name one.
Name one? How about the times?
Yeah, Artie, how about that time?
What time?
Yeah, George, what time?
When I first found him. What was it?
Yeah, Artie, what are you going to say to that?
Nothing.
Well, that may be true. But, George, you've got a lot of nerve saying Artie was nothing.
I said Artie was nothing?
Oh, please, George, once is enough.
Wait a minute. Who does George think he is?
Yeah, George, who do you think you are?
This is stupid.
Please, Artie, you can't say George is stupid.
What?
Well, he is stupid.
You're nothing.
Yeah, you're nothing.
You're nothing.
Oh,
yeah,
Please,
you're nothing.
Boy, please. What's the argument about?
Well, he said I was nothing.
He said I was nothing.
Oh, aren't you two boys ashamed of yourselves arguing over nothing? Come on, boys. Shake hands and make up.
Well, against my will. All right, Ollie. I guess it was my fault.
Yeah, well, it's against my will, too. And it was my fault, I guess. After all, you have done a lot of nice things. You have done a lot of nice things for me.
Name one.
Yeah, name one. Oh, quiet! This is going too far. You people are just jealous because I'm stepping into society.
Yes, George, I think it's great. Wonderful, marvelous, delightful.
Society?
No, spam.
Look, will you stop? This girl is coming up here tonight, and I'm trying to tell you
Pero
that
¿de qué
it's
se
very
trata de la
important
¿Por qué no me
that-
dijeron de la sociedad? Yo sé mucho de estas cosas, hombre.
Well,
Nada más.
now it's the guitar player. Senor Lee, why are you butting in?
Senor Burns, this society girl, this debutante,
Debutante?
sí. Is she pretty like that movie star Catherine Hartburn?
Heartburn? It's Hepburn.
Hartburn.
Hepburn. Do you know the Philadelphia story?
Is it clean?
What an ignoramus. I'll bet he can't even spell his own name.
I can't so spell my own name.
Well, let me hear you do it.
What? From memory?
Gracie, I don't think that was so funny.
Well, neither do I.
Well, what are you laughing at?
My brother Willie's letter. He's the one who's been drafted, you know.
Oh, yes, he just joined the Army, will he?
Yeah, well, here's the letter. Dear Mother, Dad, Gracie, and Mr. Faversham.
Who is Mr. Faversham?
Well, that's the mailman. He always reads the letters first.
Well, that stands to reason.
Thanks very much for the birthday turkey you sent me. My tent mates and I lit the 21 candles, and we really had a wonderful time. Yesterday I was on
21 candles on the turkey?
Yeah. Yesterday I was on the
Your brother is 21 years old?
No, the turkey.
Oh, the turkey.
Yesterday I was on the target
So he
range.
put 21 lit candles on the turkey?
No, under the turkey.
Lighted the candles under the turkey?
Yeah. Well, how else could he cook it?
Well, I never thought of that. I see what you mean.
Yesterday I was on the target range with a group. George, what letter is this? An A or a V?
Looks more like an R.
No, it couldn't be R. His eyes look like cheese.
What about his eyes?
They're very weak. That's why his eyes look like
I
cheese.
see. Oh, well.
His O's look like him.
His O's look quiet. He was on the target range,
yeah.
remember?
Yesterday I was on the target range with a group of rookies, and I shot for 3 hours. I would have shot longer, but I ran out of rookies.
Your brother ought to get a medal for a thing like that.
Oh, he did, but not just for that. He's also the only tank in the regiment who doesn't need armor.
That's a nice kid. He probably parts his hair with a corkscrew.
Well, so does my brother.
I was going to say corkscrew.
Yeah.
I should have said it.
Yeah.
Got a big laugh.
Well, say it.
Thanks. You see, you don't have to write for me.
No.
I just make a mistake, and what a wow.
Well, anyway, more letters.
Yes.
Thanks for the picture of Daddy you sent me to wear next to my heart. I had a little difficulty at first, but now I slip the picture inside of my woolen underwear and then climb in with it.
He climbs in with it?
Yes. It's a full-length picture.
I see what you mean.
Even so, I had to cut the feet off the picture, as Daddy is 5 inches taller than I am, and I look silly being that far off the ground. Signed, Willie.
That's the finish of the letter.
Yes.
Good.
P.S. I've got 3 marvelous tent mates, but one thing seems to be lacking. We haven't got a tent.
Well, I've heard everything. Well, that's plenty, Gracie.
Now, Miss Mooney, Dad, Charlie, and Little was saying there'll be some changes made, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Senor Lee would chime in.
For there's a change in the weather, there's a change in the sea. Come now on, there'll be a change in me. My walk will be different by talking my name. Nothing about me, honey, is gonna be the same. I'm gonna change the way of living, honey, if that ain't enough. Then I'll change the way I strut my stuff, 'cause nobody wants you when you're rolling great. There'll be some changes made today. Honey, there'll be some changes made today.
For there's a change en el clima, there's a change en el mar. También cambiamos nuestro modo de amar. Si tú lo quieres, me cambio también. Buenas noches, cucaracha. Yo lo que yo te digo, no te quiero mentir. Voy a cambiar mi modo de vivir. Entonces es cuando tú me vas a amar. Y yo lo sé muy bien, my darling sweetheart, porque me voy a cambiar.
For there's a change in the fashion, and there's a change in the shoes. There's a new way people get the blues. I must make changes from old to new. I must do things the way the others do. I'm gonna change by tomorrow. I'll make my changes today. 'Cause I must have lots of loving. Ooh, I gotta have it or I'll fade away. Just hold your horses, lover boy is on his way. There'll be some changes made. Oh, there's a change in the weather, there's a change in the sea. From now on, there'll be a change in me. My walk will be different, my talk and my name. There'll be some changes made today.
Oh, dame mi sombrero ya, y tócame el rancho grande.
Well, Smoothies and Sanya Lee, that number was Tres Chick. That's French for in the groove. But none of you people would know that because you don't mingle with society, you see.
All right, poor man's Charlie Knickerbocker. Who we out with? Doris Duke or Barbara Hutton?
Happens to be Cubina Wright Jr.
Cubina Wright Jr.
That's right.
Well, pull my tooth and call me Duchess.
Well, wise guy, she's coming up here tonight, and I'm taking her out right after the broadcast.
Say, George, if you want to make an impression, rent a butler and have the butler come in and...
hire a butler. Rent the butler, did you say?
Yeah.
Gracie, hire.
George, if you want to make an impression, rent a butler and have him come
Gracie,
in.
hire.
George, if you want to make an impression, rent a butler. I'm sorry, that's as far as I can go.
No. Look, Gracie. You misunderstand me, and I pretty near killed the whole thing altogether. Look, Gracie, people rent furniture, they rent cars, and they rent apartments, but they hire butlers.
Well, that's Hollywood. They haven't got a dime bus. They've all got butlers.
Gracie, this whole thing was your idea.
Yeah, but I bet if I thought of it, you'd say it was silly.
All right, when Cubina Wright gets here, I'll rent the butler.
Hire.
Quiet.
Anyway, to impress her, have the butler announce your name in Russian.
In Russian?
Yeah, you'll be a much bigger name that way.
Well, I've had enough.
I've had enough. Oh, that's pretty. But personally, I like Rachmaninoff.
Look, Gracie, when she gets here, will you try and conceal your absurdity?
Oh, is that thing showing again?
Yeah, it's a little bit on the bias. It's showing just a little bit.
Senor Burns, if you want to make an impression on her, why don't you buy a racehorse like Saw Biscuit?
Saw biscuit?
Si.
You mean sea biscuit?
Saw.
Sea.
Saw.
Sea.
Saw.
Sea.
Let me off. I'm getting dizzy.
Senor Lee, this goes for you, Gracie, and everybody else here. Tonight, I don't want any wisecracks.
Oh, leave, George. Now, listen. As soon as she comes in, I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, have you tried Spam?
Spam?
Yeah. Now, what's your language?
It's spam.
Well, I say, what's
That's
your language?
when the line comes in.
Yeah, okay. Now, it's, watch this now. It's unadulterated porcine clavicle with ham meat added. How do you like that?
Oh, well, that's fine. That's very
Now,
good. Yes.
frigid or torrid, it strikes a responsive chord. Good and Ricky, huh?
That'll help a whole lot. But society people don't talk that way. They have charm. They have culture. They're natural. Why, they hardly open their mouths when they speak. As a matter of fact, Bud, a big mouth shows lack of breathing. Isn't that right, Gracie?
Oh, don't ask me. I wouldn't know.
Anyway, Cubina Wright ought to be here any minute, and you'll really love her. She's a swell girl. But what I'm nervous about is right after the program, I've got to meet her uncle, and I hope I make a good impression.
Mr. Burns.
Yes, what is it, 4 years at Harvard?
If you'll allow a sound man, perhaps I can be of service.
Well, let's hear it.
Having majored in psychology at Harvard, I feel qualified to advise you on the art of making friends.
Well, thanks.
It's all a matter of striking a note of common interest.
I think you've got something.
For instance, if her uncle happens to be a philatelist, talk about stamps.
Yes.
If he happens to be an Epicurean, discuss foods.
Mm-hmm.
If he happens to be a fraternity brother, give him the fraternal handshake. It might even make it easier if you knew what college he went to.
Well, he's a Yale man.
Give him a hot foot.
Well, thanks for your help, Soundman. When Cubina gets here, I wish I could think of a novel way to impress her, but I can't.
I can.
Of course, I could have the boys give her a fanfare.
Well, of course, if my uncle were here, he and I could do something together,
know.
but he isn't here, so I guess I'll have to do something by myself
She
again.
comes in, we can roll out
My
a
uncle.
carpet.
You know, he's the one who sees with his thumb.
No,
my uncle.
that wouldn't
You know
do.
that, George? My uncle sees with his thumb.
It would be a
lot of
good
people
idea,
don't believe
though,
that. He
to
sees
have
with
her,
his thumb,
when
but
she
he
comes
does.
in, I'll just
Even my
walk
uncle
up to
wouldn't
her and
believe
say,
it. If he
Hello,
hadn't
Cubina.
seen it with his own thumb.
How was things?
You see, my son,
Nice
my
neighborhood.
uncle, with his thumb, he
Would,
sees with his thumb, my uncle.
Sees.
With my...
With his thumb.
Yeah, my uncle.
Your uncle.
Yeah.
Your uncle sees with his thumb?
Yeah, he sees if the soup is hot.
He sees if the soup is hot.
Now, Artie Shaw, his clarinet and orchestra, put some original touches to the old spiritual, Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen.
Say, Bud, do you think I'd better call Emily Post? I've got about 1,000 questions to ask her.
Oh, no, you don't have to ask Emily Post. Ask any woman, George. If you ask women the right way, you can get the right answer without any trouble.
You can, Bud?
Oh, that's right. I'll show you how. Now, watch. Watch, George, now. Ladies, here in the audience, do you want to know how to give your family a swell taste surprise?
Say, Bud, I think you've got something.
Hey, George. Now, look, we'll go on for some more here now. And do you want to serve something that's easy to fix? All right. Now, it's all done with Spam, S-P-A-M. There's no mystery about it. Spam has become the most popular new meat item brought out in a generation. Originated by Hormel, Spam is delicious meat packed in a handy can. It has dozens of uses and a flavor all its own because Spam is different, isn't it? Well, folks, Spam is sweet, juicy pork shoulder meat combined with tender, tasty ham. Nothing else but those two choice cuts. That's the reason Spam has extra flavor, extra downright lip-smacking goodness. That's why Spam, served cold, as it comes from the can, makes a perfect lunch. Why sizzling hot slices of Spam fried for breakfast make your mouth water for more, and why Spam baked for dinner in all its meaty flavor completely satisfies. But get the real thing, ladies. Insist on Spam. Try those easy recipes on the label. Ladies, get Spam when you shop tomorrow. Are we all agreed?
Slice it, dice it, fry it, bake it, cold or hot. Spam hits the spot.
Say, George, if Cubina doesn't show up, I know a beautiful society girl that'll go out with you.
You do?
Yeah, but first you better call up Gladstone 1131 and see if I'm there.
You're a society girl?
Well, sure. It takes 4 maids to help me with my milk shower.
Your milk shower?
Well, sure.
You take milk showers?
Every day.
What's the 4 maids for?
To hold the cow over the tub.
Look, Gracie, you don't have to worry.
Yes.
Yes. Who are you?
I'm left over from the commercial.
Well, everything happens to me. Everything. Oh, here she is now. Don't forget, everybody. On your toes. Come in. Well, it's Cubina Wright, Jr. Well, how are you, Cubina? I'm so glad to see you.
Fine, George, and I'm very glad to see you.
Well, look, George. She talks with her mouth open. You told me society girls don't talk like this.
Quiet. Gracie, this is Cubina Wright.
Now, George, don't forget Junior.
No, I want to meet him, too.
And, Cubina, this is Artie Shaw, our musical director.
How do you do?
Miss Wright, this is a pleasure. The charm of your presence exceeds even the flattering reports that preceded you. Boy, am I corny.
You can say that again, brother.
Cubina, you'll have to forgive Mr. Shaw. You see, as the saying goes, he's a little bit off the cob.
Oh, look who's talking.
Oh, she's got a wonderful sense of humor.
Say, Cubina, I thought you lived in New York.
Well, I do. You see, my being here is purely an accident.
Well, so is mine. My mother expected a boy.
Gracie, careful.
You see, Gracie, I can't stay still. I've got wanderlust.
Oh, that must be awful. Is it anything like the measles?
No, Gracie. Wanderlust means moving from place to place.
Oh, that's the measles, all right. You know, my brother got them in Texas, and the next day they was south of the border.
Gracie, Cubina means she traveled.
Oh, like my uncle. Well, for instance, he winters in Palm Beach and summers in Newport.
Oh, really? And where does he fall?
On his face. And how's your uncle?
Cubina, don't you think we ought to go? Yes. Bud, this is Cubina Wright, Jr.
Cubina Wright, Jr.? Well, gee, Miss Wright, I've seen your picture in all the papers and magazines.
Thanks, Bud.
Now, there's one thing I'd like to ask you.
Well, what's that, Bud?
Do you really wash your things in Lux?
Why, Bud!
Yes, Bud, and I eat Spam, and I love it.
Well, Cubina, I just don't know what to say.
Don't apologize for anything, George. This is the most fun I've had in months. I'm so tired of going out with all these well-groomed, good-looking society men who spend so much money on you, who have such good education and fine manners, and it's a pleasure to be with you.
Why, Cubina!
Oh, please, Cubina, you're turning George's head. And if you turn it any more, he'll have to stand behind his back to shave himself. You follow me, George?
Yes, I follow you.
Well, you better stop or I'll call the cops.
All right, I'll stop.
George, what I said may not have sounded right, but what I meant was, I like a man I can make something of, a man I can mold.
Well, then, George is your man because you'll find him very moldy, and I
Never
know
mind. I wish you'd be quiet. This girl means something to me. Well, come on, Cubina.
Hey, Senor Burns,
What is it, Senor Lee?
I would like to go out with that Carbona.
Carbona?
See, she's really from society. She's a member of the 300.
400.
3 1/4.
400.
$3.50.
400.
I'll take her, but you drive a hard bargain.
Well, come on, Cubina, let's go.
Hey, wait a minute. Cubina, is this on the level? After going out with fellas like the Vanderbilts, how can you go out with George?
Now, listen here, Mr. Shaw. What has Cornelius Vanderbilt got that George hasn't got? He's got wit, he's got charm, he's good company. And what's more, I'm definitely going out with him tonight.
George?
No, Cornelius Vanderbilt. Good night.
Well, Artie, you fixed it. That was a lot of wise cracks.
Yeah, with all those wise cracks.
Yes, all those silly things.
Yeah.
And, Gracie, don't you start again and don't help me with all this talk.
Yeah, Artie, we've
I've
had enough
listened to you for years.
Artie, you've got a
Now,
lot
let
of
me
nerve.
tell you
It's fellas
something.
like you that make fellas like
All
that.
right,
Join us next week, same time, same station, for another Burns and Allen show with Artie Shaw and his orchestra and the Smoothies. This is Bud Heaston speaking for Hormel and Spam, reminding you to remember that cold or hot, Spam hits the spot. Have you tried Hormel chili con carne? Even those who think they don't like chili do like chili con carne the way Hormel makes it because it's different and everybody likes it. Double your money back if you don't like it. Try Hormel chili con carne tomorrow. This is the National Broadcasting Company.